Hi everybody, good evening everyone, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. We just wanted to thank you for tuning in to our last YouTube video. The response that we've had from everyone has been fantastic, from our Facebook page to our Instagram page, and YouTube's been great. So we just want to say thank you. So tonight will be part 1 of our second episode, and tonight will be about weight loss and weight struggles that we all have.
Yeah.
So we've got lovely guests here with us tonight. Toni,
Hey.
is here. Suzi,
Hello.
all here to tell you their stories and their struggles and tribulations that they've gone through with their weight loss.
Over to Toni.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think my weight started when I was, after my first baby. I put on a lot of weight. Very soon after that, I was diagnosed with thyroid disease. When I had the thyroid removed, that was the end of me and my weight. So since then I've tried, you name it, I've tried it from a gastric balloon to, the shakes to whatever. Nothing worked. I always ended up losing a little bit of weight but putting on, tenfold. So in 2021 I had some blood tests and was diagnosed with diabetes, pericarditis, fatty liver, and was basically told if I didn't do something about it I'd be dead in 5 years. So it was a bit of an eye-opener.
Wake up.
So then a lady that I knew, I saw that she'd lost a lot of weight and she'd been through a lot of health issues as well. So I contacted her thinking that she was unwell, but she introduced me to this specialist in Sydney. And he only really focuses on people with significant complex health needs, which is sort of me. Because I had sort of sought surgeons before, but because I've had breast cancer, no one would touch me. So went to this doctor in Sydney, and after 3 months of working with him, working with a psychologist, he gave me the go-ahead to have the surgery. So I had the mini bypass in December 2021, and so
Fantastic.
going well, but it's a tough road.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why, if you've had breast cancer or any sort of cancer, why do they not like
Because I've got a 20% chance of coming back,
Okay.
And if your stomach has been altered, the medication and treatment might not work because it
Yeah,
processes
okay.
through your gut.
Differently,
So that's why everyone
makes
down
sense,
here
yeah.
said no. So with this doctor, he does the bypass.
Give it a go.
So my stomach's still there and intact and is actually still working, but the food is deferred away from that. So it has to
So
go
you
there.
had the bypass,
I
you
did,
didn't actually have the...
No. So the stomach's still there. So if anything,
Yeah.
if it doesn't, comes out, they can just staple it back together and
And they do suggest as well, if you suffer reflux,
Yes.
to do the bypass and not actually
100%,
do the surgery. So
Yeah.
I know a friend of mine suffered she had the weight loss surgery done first, losing weight, but the reflux was just
Yeah, they say that, which
Yeah.
causes the vomiting.
That's
and
right.
stuff like that.
Yeah, she was really
Yeah.
bad, so she had to go back, and she ended up having the bypass.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic.
It
She's
has,
lost the
it
weight.
is.
She's feeling great.
Yeah.
So Toni, for you,
Yep.
the decision then, knowing you've got that, you've had that cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got this option to have the stomach. So were you toying with that, like mentally?
I think it was all a mental struggle. And
Yes.
going to this surgeon, and he's got a huge program. It's not just going and having it. He's it was a 2-year program.
Yep.
And I had to see a psychologist for a number of
Yes.
months prior, and she basically said to me, "You've got trauma." And she
Yes.
said, "And trauma,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I don't have trauma." But then she
Yeah.
sort of listed off what I'd been through. I'm thinking, maybe I do.
Yes.
But it's basically, if you don't have your head in the right place and
Yes.
you do this for you, because before it was like, I've got to do it because I've got a disabled kid, I want to do it for my family. You've got to do it for you.
Yes.
And you've got to be aware that any tool you use for weight loss is only that.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
tool, and if you aren't 100%, 120% engaged and dedicated to
Yes.
it, you will put it back on.
Yeah.
And it can be
And usually
life-threatening.
more.
100%, and it's
Yeah.
actually life-threatening. If you burst or overstretch that little stomach or that
Yes.
little pouch, you can die.
Yes.
So it was
So
a big
mentally
decision.
you have to be
Oh,
100%.
100%.
So knowing that you've got the breast cancer and that actually outweighed of the recurrence of that for you? Because
100%.
obviously you had that 5 year in your
Yeah.
head that your doctor said, if you don't fix this, this is what's going to happen.
But also, obesity is
that puts you at a
cancer.
higher risk anyway.
Yes,
That's right.
that's
So you're
right.
doing it for your health.
100%.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
The visceral fat.
Oh,
like,
100%.
yeah.
And I was in such a bad place mentally. It was
Yes.
after the second lockdown, and I was scared to go out. And I didn't want to go out, and
You
I couldn't
didn't,
move.
no.
Arthritis, and it
Yes.
was just.
And that's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask you, because physically your body hurt.
Oh gosh, I couldn't
Right.
get out of bed of a morning.
No,
And
that's
I didn't
right.
want to.
But
so, yeah.
now, can you tell us what you do now? Because it's a big difference.
Look, I walk. I try to walk about 50 kilometres a week. You know,
Yes.
not in one hit like
Wow.
I read, but
Yeah,
I go
that's
to
good.
the Reformer Pilates. I go 3 times a week now.
How do you
Yeah.
like that?
I love it. Love it. Love it. It's
So, ladies, Pilates are great.
Oh,
for
yes,
you.
yes,
Reformer
yeah.
Pilates,
Yes.
Reformer,
Yes.
yeah, because you're using your own body weight.
Yes.
Well, that is the thing. But and I can't do. I don't want to lose any more weight, and I can't lose any more weight, and so I can't do the high impact. Plus, also I've got arthritis, and it's
Yes.
in a good place. But it's gentle, it's low impact. But oh my God, you get strong and muscles, and you know what? You start off, and I couldn't do the split sort of thing. Now I can get right down there, so you can actually see
Yes.
the progress. But it's the strength. Like working with Mackenzie, I'm
Yes.
actually getting her out of a chair without
It's
sort of
fantastic.
in pain.
Yes.
So
Joanna,
100%.
Pilates might be good for you.
Yes.
You could do the split.
Yes. Yes.
Imagine.
Imagine.
Oh,
imagine.
watch out.
Yeah.
I can tell you where to go.
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but the recovery was
Yes.
the recovery time, was that mentally sort of challenging for you?
Oh, look, it wasn't. I was just excited, and I think that. What?
The splits. There's
They're
just
just-
imagine
they're
they're
just
doing
imagine.
You know, so we
I'm
do
looking
need
at
to
Joanna
light
and I'm
this up
picturing it on a visual
because they know that's something I'd probably like to do.
Yeah, she likes the splits.
The splits.
Banana
Yes.
Okay, well, I
Swinging
can't
from
do
the roof
100%
all at
of splits, but I can get down
But you're
low,
getting
okay?
there. Yes, that's fantastic.
Okay, so with the recovery, why I liked the specialist I went to is because I knew for 2 years I still had his feedback. I had the psychologist and I had the dietitian that when I felt low, and oh my God, it happened a lot, I could ring or email and someone would ring and say, right, how are you feeling? Where are you
had that
going?
support
network.
100%.
Yeah, and you need it.
100%.
Yeah.
And
How
I,
good is that support
oh, look, I
network
could
though?
not have
Yes.
survived
You do
without
need
it.
it.
So,
Yes.
and I met so many people that haven't got it, they're struggling. So
And
it's,
that's what you were saying to me
yeah.
earlier. Like you said, you know, the doctor was saying to you, what is it? 80,
Yeah.
And you said 80%
Food.
what I eat and 20%
It's not.
exercise. And he said, no,
Yeah.
it's 80% in your
Yeah.
mind
Yeah.
and 20% what you eat.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
It's true
Yes.
though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it
Yeah.
is.
Because they
It's a
say,
battle.
because they say people that do
Lifelong.
have trauma,
Yes.
you know, that is a huge thing for weight loss.
They
Yeah.
hide it. What do you
My
do? You
biggest
drink
thing
or
is
you eat?
emotional eating.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely an
That's what it
emotional
is.
eater, whether
Yeah.
it's happy,
Yeah.
sad, I celebrate
emotion.
with
Food.
food,
Yeah.
and I'm sad with
Yeah.
food. The first thing I
Yeah.
turn to is
Oh,
chocolate.
look,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
so
it's
agree. I
always
think I
good.
said
Yes.
I had a bit of a bad shitty week last week, and
Yep.
I went home. I thought I'd just buy a little bit of chocolate. I shit for the next week because
Yes.
it just
Yeah.
the body doesn't
That's
cope with
right.
it. So,
So
it's
do
like,
you
oh my God.
find now, like with your food, that you've really changed your
Oh,
habits,
100%.
like, and you've had to, and
I'm,
you can
I'm not
still.
perfect.
No, no,
Not
no.
perfect,
Oh, no, but no,
yeah.
I don't think anyone can be. To
you
be
can't.
honest,
You've got to
I don't
survive.
think you
So,
can be.
yeah.
That's right. And I think by not being perfect, that's how you've gone this far, because you've still allowed yourself
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have that. Even if you shit yourself,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
worth it.
sustainable,
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than just going
It is.
completely,
That's right.
you know,
Yeah.
what you can't
Absolutely.
sustain as a normal lifestyle.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's
Agreed.
right.
You just need to sort of, you know,
Yeah.
tweak
It's
it a bit.
balance.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it is,
balanced.
and it's balanced.
And it's been
yeah.
prepared. Like
Yes.
you've probably seen my Facebook.
Yes.
I'm also meal prepping each week.
Absolutely,
You know?
and I think
So
that
I've
helps
got
with
stuff.
with all
Otherwise, I
food.
just
Can I
can't
come
Yes.
to your house and meal prep?
Oh, you can.
Yes.
You can. So
Meal
I
prep
know,
parties.
so
Yeah.
I know, like I've lost a little bit of weight, but I know before I lost the weight, my hips would ache
Oh,
and
gosh,
hurt,
yeah.
my knees,
Absolutely,
my
there's so
ankles.
much pressure.
And just
Head
like
to toe.
doing,
joint, yeah.
like going for a walk and thinking I'm going to go for a walk and do exercise,
But it
and you
hurts.
want to lose
It
weight,
hurts.
but it hurts too
No.
much.
That's right.
Yeah, so what do you
Now-
do?
It's a very catch-22.
It's
Yeah.
a vicious
no,
circle.
definitely.
Yeah, but
Vicious
now
circle.
losing
Yeah.
the weight, like it's
It's amazing, isn't it?
100%
How
different.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
There's
it's
no
amazing.
pressure.
Tony.
But it's
Yeah.
not easy. It's
No,
not,
it's not.
Sort of people sort of go, I'm going to have surgery. I mean, I'm speaking to a couple of people at the moment that's interested, and I think don't have it because they just think, oh, go do that, then I can do this. I go, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
you
You have to be
can't.
mindful.
Oh,
Yes.
gosh,
Yes.
yeah, 100%.
Do you regret? Do you ever have regrets?
Oh God, no! I wish I did. I wish I found this
Yeah.
doctor 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Because
yeah.
I
So
do
that's a
know,
great-
I
that's
do
a
know
great
a
thing.
person
Oh, I
that
know
actually
lots of
has said
people
that
do
they
that.
would never
Yeah.
have it like done again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the same with any surgery, people can have side effects.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
and the
absolutely.
side effects
Yeah.
are pretty in your face. Like I really had to sit back and think, oh God, you know, I could die, you know. on the
But it's
surgery
like the
stuff.
journey that you took. You took the
I was
road
dying anyway.
of the
Yeah.
doctors,
Yeah.
the psychologists,
Yeah.
and the nutrition, and you have the backup from then to
Yeah.
now
100%.
that you need it. And I think
100%.
that's the difference in
Yeah.
the journeys
Yeah.
too. A lot of people, like you said, do it for short term
Yeah.
because they want
You
to,
can't.
you know,
Not for the
do
long
this.
game.
It's not for the long. It's a
commitment.
lifelong.
It is.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
thing is too, like, I mean, I never told anyone that I was prepping for this.
No.
I wanted my decision. I didn't even
Yes.
tell my husband till
No.
2
Yeah,
weeks
right.
because I actually at the phone,
Wow.
I got finally booked in November for the following April. Within a week, he rang me, so I've had a cancellation. You're going to be ready in 3 weeks. It's like, shit, I need
Yeah.
to tell my husband.
Yeah.
So then when I sat down with him, because I mean, I'll be very honest, I took it out of my super because we didn't have 20 grand.
So that's a
to play
good thing
with.
to know that you
Super
can
You
actually
can take
do
it
that.
out of your
Yeah,
super
you
points for your
Yes.
health.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
well, I might not be here in 5 years.
That's
It's
right.
not-
That's right.
My family's not getting me super.
Yeah.
But I then had to say to him, I'm going to do this. And he said, okay. I said, it's not okay because he's the chef in our family. Like, he cooks. And I said, you've got to come this journey with
Yeah,
me.
Absolutely.
And bloody
And
hell,
still
he
now to
loses
this
10
day.
kilos.
Yeah.
Oh, good on him.
We did that. But
Yeah.
it's got to be, you've got to have those people
Yes.
around
You
you.
do.
But the other thing that really, and I didn't tell anyone that I had it after, except for 3 people, I think you might be one of them.
Yes.
Because the amount of people that once they found out, oh, you did the cheat way, or you
I
lost
never.
weight,
I
don't think
have
it's
you
never.
cheated? I think,
No.
oh my God, I had my guts ripped right
No.
and cut
Yeah,
out.
100%.
Yes.
I can look at
Oh,
food
it's
and
not a
start
cheat way,
vomiting.
easy
It's
way.
not a cheat way,
No.
you know? So it's,
Do you know what? Okay, I'm going to make a confession because I didn't want to sort of
No,
put
please,
it out
please,
and
yep. No,
But
put
you
it out
don't
that I
have
did
to.
it, but yeah, I did have it
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was sort of one of my things of not saying anything because
Yeah.
people judge. People
Oh,
are nasty.
100%.
They're
100%.
judgmental.
Yes.
They, talk within their little groups,
Mm.
and you don't need
Oh,
that.
people-
No,
you
you
just
don't.
want people to
Extra.
support you.
It's people are.
Can I say
they're
thank
unhappy.
you, Natasha?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
Yeah.
that there is massive because
Yeah.
seriously, for you to do that, for
Yeah.
those people out there that are scared and
Yeah.
that are embarrassed and
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
you're taking the easy way and
Yeah.
you're,
Oh, it's
you
not.
I still get it
are
now.
not.
No.
You've
Yeah.
just seen the struggles and heard
Yeah.
what it is,
Yeah.
and honestly,
Mm.
I commend you for
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
it
I
tonight,
agree. Yeah.
Natasha, because that's a big
Yeah.
thing
It
to
is.
do. Absolutely. Yes.
I follow a lady on Instagram from America. She's flushed it away. I don't know if you've seen her. She's lost like 100 and something kilos.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And she basically, she put a post up today saying, I'm going off social media for a while, thinking, God, no, she was
It's probably
crazy.
because she was trolled
No,
and
you
then
know
they're
why?
horrible.
She said
But she did
when
that.
she was
Because it's
overweight, nobody commented.
Yeah.
But now she's thin, they're now saying you're too skinny, you look
Well,
sick,
that's
like
the
this.
thing,
How
yeah.
dare they?
And
You
that's
know?
probably why I was a little bit like not
Reserved.
ready to come. Yeah,
Yeah,
reserved about
100%.
coming
Yeah.
out because I know, you go through that dramatic weight loss.
Oh,
in the beginning,
100%,
and
yeah.
until you reach your
And you do
your
sort of
weight.
look sick. Like some
Oh, you
people
do.
do look sick, and
Yeah.
people go, "What is she doing?"
Yeah.
Or is
And
there
I've
something wrong?
had friends sort of, approach me and say, I've had people
Oh,
approach
it's
me
cute.
and say,
Hey,
is Natasha okay?
Yeah,
Is she
yeah,
sick? Is she
yeah.
dying?
Of course.
Is she?
Yeah.
And
Of course,
you know
people
what?
are going
That's
to
sort
think
of-
that when they see
you
you
lose
like
your
that.
confidence
You
because
do.
you're big,
Yeah.
and then you lose your confidence because you're
Because
too
you're
small.
too
Yes, that's
Like,
right.
You're
Yeah.
getting judged.
But it's
no
part of
matter
the
what you
process,
do.
isn't it? You
Yeah.
get to that
Yeah.
point until you get to that healthy
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
isn't it really?
Yeah.
And I'm at the healthy point now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You look great.
I lost
You
too
look
much
amazing.
weight.
Yeah.
And I put
Fantastic.
10 kilos back on.
Yeah.
But
and I
now you're
needed to.
perfect.
Yeah.
And now
And that's why I
I'm
don't
happy
want
to
and
do
I'm
that.
maintaining
Yeah.
and but for the first month after the operation, I remember day 3, day 4. And I was laying in bed and I was crying my eyes out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what have I done?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
you feel
I was
like
just
crap. Yeah,
and
you
then I-
hurt. Yeah.
And my husband, to be honest, he wasn't too supportive.
Yeah.
He was like, if you're going to get it done, I'm going to leave. And I'm like, you know what? It's got nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
it's
no,
all
yeah,
about
exactly
me.
right.
Something
Yeah.
that
And
you
you know,
needed to
this
do.
is your problem. This is your confidence that you're
Yeah,
struggling
agree,
with.
agree.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I went and got it done. Day 3, I was crying, and he's like, you know what? This is your fault.
Oh.
You know, you,
That's
you
not
chose
ideal.
to do
Yeah,
this.
yeah, that's right.
But
It is.
after that, I've never regretted it.
No,
Yeah.
that's
It's the
right,
best
100%.
decision I've ever made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Fantastic.
He's supportive now.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you're loving it. He's got a
Yeah.
hot wife now. Look at that. And so the cost
Look at
involved. What?
It's not
That's
cheap.
the rooftop tent.
My program was probably a little bit dear because it was the 2-year program,
Yeah,
but you don't get much change out of $20,000.
Okay.
So,
And what about you, Natasha? Roughly?
Mine was 15,000.
Okay.
But they suggest in the beginning it was 17,000
Yeah.
something for 3 nights stay in hospital. But in the first 48 hours, if you can down a certain amount of
Tolerate.
liquid,
Yeah.
they said you can go home. So I didn't stay for the 3 nights. So then they reimbursed me back that extra night in private hospital.
Yeah. I stayed 2 nights.
So Susie, with you, what was your story for you?
Well, I struggled with weight loss for many years, and I was, with diets and various, diets, as I said, I was up and down like a Monica. But when my mum passed away, I literally, like you said, had food as a comfort. I'd eat all the time, and before I realised, I put so much weight on that I had knee problems. Like I couldn't walk upstairs. I'd crab walk downstairs. I'd be huffing and puffing. And when I seen a doctor regarding my knees, he actually said, you will have a knee reconstruction in a couple of years. And I was like mortified to think, I was really young.
Someone at your age.
So another medical thing.
Another medical thing.
Even your breathing, like you said.
Breathing and all that.
Right?
And I've got 2 older kids, but I've also got a younger child, and I couldn't keep up with him. I felt like I wasn't being capable of doing, just even walking down the street, or going shopping. I hate going shopping because I get very,
You have no
tired.
motivation either, do you?
No motivation.
No.
I didn't want to put anything on because I felt like I looked like a dag, like I was just, mentally, drained and all that. So when I went camping once and I seen one of my friends and she looked amazing and she was a large person as well, and I said, what happened to you? And she actually told me that she had the surgery.
Right.
And I thought, that's it.
Yeah.
Give me the phone number. I'm ringing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I did it that weekend. I rang the doctor and all that, booked myself in. And it was a journey. It was a real big journey.
Yes.
And unfortunately, like yourself, I had a lot of consultation before the surgery. I did the surgery. And then after that, it was probably one phone call and that was it.
That's the difference.
And we've had the same, Suzi and I have had the same surgeon and we've had both these
Exactly.
we don't have the follow-up.
And you don't have the
Which I think you probably need. I think some people need that.
Yes, I think and even today, I do need that because I have put on a little bit of weight. I don't meal prep like I used to. And you need that support network.
Definitely.
To ring up and say, what do I do now?
Yeah.
How do we get back on track?
I'm starting to go off track again.
And the biggest thing with that, before the surgery, you have to go on shakes for 2 weeks, and that was so damn hard. But I actually spoke to all my friends at work and said, look, I'm going to go through this journey. I need you guys to support me. I also had a lot of kickback and saying, oh, this is really bad. You shouldn't be doing it. And I just said,
that's the problem.
And I just said, you need to support me along the way. And then some people thought, oh, you're gonna die, or you're gonna have this and that. And I was so strong. When I had the surgery and I did lose about 40 kilos, they were like, oh wow, we you've done amazing. Because I didn't want them thinking, what's wrong with her? Why did she lose so much weight? Has she got cancer? Has she got whatever? So I actually told them, but I didn't tell my family. I was really embarrassed. Only a few people in my family because I was embarrassed.
So again, another shame
Another
thing,
shame.
and that's because it's put out there that it's a bad thing and you shouldn't do it.
And then they're going to ask, oh, what was the cost? That's on me. That's my
none of your business.
that's
Whether
my,
you want to say or not.
That's my life. Cost shouldn't be a
But how much
factor.
quality of life have you got back?
And
that's
how much is
walking,
it's
running,
Yes.
Even your breathing, and enjoying your wardrobe, clothes.
But let's be honest with cost.
Yeah.
When you talk about cost, how much do you spend on the fad diets?
That's right.
And how much do you spend on
God.
diabetes medication and because you can't walk in your knees, so then you're going to take osteos and you're going to take
You've got
all
knee
this
replacement
stuff,
surgery.
all those things. So when we're talking
100%.
cost, it really doesn't come into it when you're going to.
I haven't regretted what I did.
No,
I
good.
just regret the fact that I didn't have that follow-up after
Yes.
speaking
Yeah.
to yourself.
Yep.
The
I think-
psychology
Yeah.
is important.
And I still do. I still see her once a month.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I think
Just
that's
to keep
where
yourself
you
on track.
Bariatrics trained too.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can give you a link to a bariatric dietitian.
Oh, that'd be
She's
fantastic.
amazing.
Probably
She
would.
basically does the same thing. So,
Because I was like you, I'd meal prep for work,
Oh,
I'll do
gosh,
this, I'll
yeah.
do that. But the other important thing is what people are, the reflux. I was lucky I didn't have
Yeah,
that
same.
reflux.
I didn't
I
have it
had
at
a lot
all.
of people
You're lucky,
say,
yeah.
So which surgery did you have? Because there's 2 different surgeries. Which one did you
I
have?
actually, they cut half of my stomach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
sleeve.
it's 20.
That's
It's
the
20%.
sleeve.
That's
Yeah, they
the
take
sleeve?
out 20% of your. Oh no,
So-
take out 80% of your stomach.
Oh.
Only 20%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
didn't have that,
no,
Toni?
I had the bypass.
Right, so that's the difference. So,
Yeah.
so people
Yeah,
know
okay.
you've got your bypass and you've got your sleeve.
And you've
So
also
they're
got the
different.
band, but
Well,
then
they don't do
Yes.
that really.
well, they
Not
some
as
do,
much.
but
Yeah.
a lot of the
Yes.
about 80% of them have to have
They're
it
trying
with
not
something
to.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So with the
right.
sleeve, they take a huge chunk, but
okay.
with the bypass, they leave your stomach there and only
They
leave
just
a
do
tiny
it.
little pouch at the top and
Okay.
then connect it to your small bowel.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in hospital, I had a phone call off my boss, which was really nice, and he said, "Oh, how you going?" I said, "Yeah, good," which I told everyone as I said
Yes.
at work.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Guess what I'm having for dinner tonight?" And I said, "Oh, what?" He goes, "Try it." I was like, "You bastard." He was joking, but they were all supportive of me,
That's
and
important.
it was important for me to let them know of
Yeah.
my journey.
Yeah.
Because at work we do a lot of food. We
eat together.
Well, it's a get together thing.
get
Food
together.
is, yeah.
And if I just sort of say, no, I can't have that or can't have that, I needed them to understand.
Understand why.
Yeah.
So with the shakes, was that like 3 shakes a day? Like no food?
No food,
Oh, no, you had
3
Well,
shakes.
I had food. Yeah,
No.
No.
I had
the
3
chow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
It depends on
It's
the amount
different.
of weight that you
And it
have to
also
lose
depends on
before
the
you go in
doctors.
and the
They're very
emptying of your
different.
stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it does come down to
I
that.
actually had 3 shakes a day
Yeah.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I lost about 6 kilos.
No,
Yes,
no,
yes,
kilos.
I lost
Yeah.
11.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
so hard. Yeah,
But
so
yeah, I
hard.
had like tiny little vegetables and
Yes.
fruit.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
allowed to fruit. So that after
Yeah.
3 weeks, because I had only a 3-week window to do
Window.
it. So he said, because I was so overweight, I had the first week, the first 2 weeks I had just the shakes. Within lunch and dinner I had a cup of veggies.
Yep.
Couldn't have anything else. Then the week prior I could only have, for 5 days before that I could only have the shakes. And then for 4 days before the surgery I could only have clear fluids. So, and I mean I lost 11 kilos, but you couldn't sustain
What
it.
would you
I-
have with the clear fluids? Did you have like
Just
bone broth and
yeah,
stuff
things
like
like
that?
that. It was just gross. But,
That's after it in
so
your
I like bone broth.
I thought, if this is this hard, I can't do this,
Yeah.
but it's so different because then after you have the surgery, then you struggle to put anything in.
Yes,
It's like,
correct.
oh my God, I couldn't even drink the water, so
Yes.
it's a huge struggle.
The only thing I found after the surgery was they did warn you, but I lost so much hair. I lost
I
so
lost
much
hair
hair.
too. I did too.
That
Yeah.
you have to take vitamins
That's good
and
to
that
know.
cream.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I was like 𝐤𝐻𝐲𝐲𝐝𝐿, you know, I had so much hair
Yeah,
and
I lost
like
it.
at the
Yeah,
moment,
fine, yeah.
it's a third of my hair
Mm.
that I have.
That would probably be your body going into stress. Though.
It
It
is
is
stress.
stress.
It's
It is
stress
stress.
hormones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stress because normal,
Yeah.
And it's
normal everyday
drastic
stress.
weight loss
Mm.
to begin
It
with.
is.
Yeah.
Like
And
you're
you're
losing
down
at
to
rapid
the
rates.
same, when you have a baby.
Oh, you do.
after
Yeah,
it's
but
hormones,
it's very
yeah.
similar to that, but it's
Yeah.
just a longer,
Yeah.
it lasts longer
Yes.
than what it did.
And you're
when it was-
malabsorbing, so you're not absorbing food and vitamins and minerals.
That's
That's
right.
why you're on
Yeah.
supplements for the rest of your life.
Mm.
So it's a shock.
So
And-
what supplements do you take?
oh my gosh.
It was we were prescribed you had to buy it.
Tube
Yeah.
multi.
Yeah.
That was initially when you couldn't
Yes.
have food, so
Yeah.
you got your
And you can
tube.
buy that from the hospital, like
Yeah.
they have
Yes.
downstairs in
Yeah.
the chemist.
Yeah.
and
And
a special
some cost
supplement.
price supplements online now, they have all of the weight loss bariatric stuff now.
Yeah.
So you've got your supplements, you've got your iron, your
Powder,
calcium,
tasteless powder.
you've got to have your
whatever it is.
protein and
Yeah.
everything. So that's, and you're also an anti-reflux.
Yeah.
For the rest of
And
your
that's
life
key.
too, so.
What they say after the
Well, they have
surgery
the
is
anti-reflux,
protein.
That might be
You,
because the
they
different
recommend
environment.
you to take protein like protein yogurt, protein
Everything.
powders,
Yep.
protein, because
Yeah.
protein fills you up
Yeah.
and eliminate carbs,
Yeah.
rice, bread and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff because that will actually, for us, would actually expand our
Well,
stomachs back out.
I still can eat just obviously smaller portions, but
yeah.
I still can pretty much stomach everything.
Yeah, I can now too.
Except for, like I used to love Subway, but now the Subway bread makes me
The
sick.
bread's a bit iffy,
Yeah, it actually
so
makes
it
me
depends.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
depends.
and garlic chicken.
Yeah.
And the other thing we talked about is water. I used to
Yeah.
drink water like no tomorrow, but now
Yeah, I can't.
I can't stand water. I
That's
have
something that fills you up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
even that.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
I have to flavour it. I've got to
Yeah.
give it a
Yeah.
Oh, the
and,
taste.
and
Yeah, the taste
yes,
of it.
and
Oh.
the taste is
Yeah.
like if I drink water after a certain couple of minutes, I feel I have to throw it up.
And the degrees, like if it gets
Yes.
like warm,
It's
like
weird.
makes you feel like it's
It's, everyone goes like even at work they go drink water. I've got my cordial and
Yeah.
they're just putting that little
Yeah.
flavour and it's
You need
so
to get into the Gatorade.
it's
no sugar.
really
It's
bizarre,
brilliant.
you
Yeah.
know. But before that, I used to love water. I used to drink it like gallons
I'm
of
better
it.
than
Yeah.
that person. Well, I'm better now, but yeah.
Oh,
Alright. Amazing. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So that's
Part
part
one.
one.
Part one. Thank you.
Ladies.
Thank you for
Thank you,
sharing your
everyone.
story.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.